there, Cinta. How are you? Today, I'm putting some warm audio mics on my drums and going through some warm audio mic pre's to get some hip-hop drum sounds for you. I went a little crazy with this setup. Really went for an experiment. I wanted to test these mics out and just, try some interesting things with them and just see how they do. First of all of these mics are going through the Wa412 mic pre. This is a one rack space unit with 4 microphone preamps in that unit, which I love because it saves a lot of space and you get a lot of value, without creating, taking up a lot of your space. Let's talk about this particular setup. The first thing I did was I decided that I might try this Wa67 on bass drum. In all the studios I've worked in, I don't think I've ever seen a 67 type microphone on a bass drum. It's not a normal bass drum mic, but I figure it's a large diaphragm mic and it can hold low end, so why not try it? And sure enough, this mic sounds killer on bass drum. So it's an incredible overhead mic. It can be used on snare. It can be used on bass drum. It can be used in the room, the mono room. It can be used as a vocal mic, all kinds of things. This is what the Wa67 sounds like on an 18-inch bass drum in a cardioid pattern, so it has a nice pointed sound. Next, I used the Wa14 I have on snare drum, which again is kind of an unusual microphone for snare drum. But I wanted to put it through its tests. It has a wide frequency range. I wanted to make sure it could get some of the fatness yet pop from the snare. It's in a omni pattern, so we get a nice full sound. I tilted it slightly so it's blocking sound from the hi-hat, so we have less hi-hat bleed. So check it out. One of the things I really enjoy about this mic pre is that it has an input knob and an output knob. And I find it super useful because I like to use a lot of harmonic distortion on drums when it's appropriate. And with this particular hip-hop sound, it was definitely appropriate. So what that means is you can really drive the input knob, but bring the output knob back so you're not overdriving your DAW and getting digital distortion. You're getting the distortion from the mic and the mic pre interacting, and the distortion happens in there, which is a much more pleasant distortion than digital distortion. Next, I used one of the Wa14s I have on hi-hat. And this is the first spot I decided to use some harmonic distortion in. It gives the hi-hat a little more crunch to it. These are 17-inch hi-hats. They're pretty dark. And I just wanted a little extra, crunch in there. So again, this is in a cardioid pattern, so it's a nice tight sound. And let's check out the Wa14 on hi-hat. Next is the Wa47 Junior. And originally with this sound, I tried it and in a mono overhead, classic mono overhead setting, and I thought it's kind of boring. Let's try something a little more interesting. So I lowered it down, just down between the snare and the floor tom. I thought if I do this, I can put it in a figure 8 pattern, and then I could get a bit of a stereo sound. So the figure 8 is not an actual stereo sound, but we're getting the floor tom on this side and the snare on this side, and then we're having sonic blockage, you know, in this area of the microphone and the drum kit. So what I'm doing is I'm actually sending the WA14s, which are on the hi-hat and snare, all the way hard left. And then I'm taking the 47 Junior and I'm panning it all the way to the right. So we are getting some stereo imaging from these two sound sources. And then the WA67 on the bass drum is sitting right down the middle. And I also decided to overdrive the 47 Junior. So again, we're getting some more distortion. And this is a really kind of a main sound of the kit that we're listening to. So let's check out the 47 Junior soloed in figure 8 and overdriven. This is what these drums sound like all together with no EQ and no compression, anything like that. Just the mic and the mic pre. The Warm Audio WA412 mic pre getting put to work with some distortion. These 4 mics, you can do so many things with 4 microphones. So this particular set of microphones, the WA14, the WA47 Junior, and the WA67 it's a super versatile pack. You can kind of do anything with these. So I'm going to be exploring some more sounds in some other videos. Check it out. Warm Audio. Do it.